The time is 6:30 a.m. Good morning and welcome to News Dawn on 92.7 KUFM Benin City. First, the headlines. Federal government seeks police judiciary support to end gender-based violence. Lagos police threatens showdown as youths plan fresh EndSARS protest. Abia governor suspends chief of staff Abazuere.
On business, CBN says Nigerians must moderate foreign goods consumption to stabilize economy.
And in sports, Enyimba International through to CAF Champions League first round. Details of these and more after this break. I am Charles Opurum. Now the news in detail. The Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Pauline Tallen, has urged the Nigeria Police and Judiciary to support the fight against gender-based violence in the country. The minister made the call at the launch of CC Yara Foundation in Abuja, an organization championing the cause of the girl child. Tallen said the call was necessary because gender-based violence would not end without their support. Child Protection Specialist, United Nations Children's Fund or UNICEF, Gordon Udo, noted that it was most unfortunate that minors and toddlers were becoming victims of the shameful act. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, on Sunday said it will enforce its road safety regulations during the current Ember Month campaign, which was flagged off this December. The Zonal Commanding Officer, RS1, Kaduna Assistant Corps Marshal Aliyu Datsama, said this during the flag-off of 2020 Ember Month campaign at the Katsina State of Transport Authority terminus. Datsama said it has become a tradition of the Federal Road Safety Corps to engage in such exercise at this time of the year due to high vehicular movement as a result of increased human activities. He called on motorists, travelers and the general public to display high level of professionalism and sense of safety. The commander also warned road users against improper parking on highways, especially by heavy-duty vehicles, which often constitute serious hazards on the roads at night, adding that the agency would not be kind to operators of unlatched vehicles and careless tanker drivers who violate traffic regulations. The Lagos State Police Command has threatened that security agencies will not fold their arms as youths plan fresh protests against police brutality and extortion. This was contained in a press statement on Sunday by the Lagos Police Public Relations Officer, Muyiwa Adejobi, titled "No Room for Violent Protests Gathering in Lagos." The statement was issued after a poster titled "EndSARS Reloaded Phase 2" went viral on social media. In a copy of the poster, it was stated that the Phase 2 of the EndSARS protest will begin on Monday, December 7th in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Delta and Bayelsa. Reacting, the police described the organizers as unpatriotic, warning that any unlawful gathering, procession or protest will be suppressed. The security agents in Atakumosa West and Elisha West local government areas in Osun State on Saturday received the backing of the stakeholders to enforce the state's law banning the practice of female genital mutilation. At a consensus building forum held at the State Ministry of Women and Children Affairs in Osogbo, the state capital, representatives of security outfits, particularly the local security men and stakeholders, including community leaders, resolved to work together on the enforcement. Speaking at the event organized by Action Health Incorporated, AH1, in collaboration with the State Ministries of Health and Women and Children Affairs, the security personnel said violators would be arrested and prosecuted. The FGM analyst with United Nations Population Fund, Uzoma Ayodeji, and AH1 program officer, Abdul Rashid Nuria, said the objective of the exercise was to secure full commitment of the communities and security personnel on the FGM abandonment in their areas. Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri has condoled with the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, over the loss of some of the force's personnel that drowned while escorting voting materials for Saturday's senatorial by-election in the state. The boat conveying the policemen was said to have capsized on its way to Opodoma, the headquarters of Southern Ijo local government area. However, security sources told newsmen that 11 policemen were on board the ill-fated boat, in which 5 were rescued while 6 others drowned. Diri, who also condoled with the families of the deceased policemen, said in a statement by his chief press secretary, Daniel Alabra, that their sudden demise while on national duty was very painful. Meanwhile, former Bayelsa State Governor Seriahi Dixon of the People's Democratic Party has been declared winner of the Bayelsa West Senatorial District by-election. He polled a total of 115,257 votes to defeat his rival, Perimoboe Ebebi of the All Progressives Congress, who polled a total of 17,500 votes. In all, the All Progressives Congress, APC, gained more seats than the People's Democratic Party in the last Saturday's by-election held in many states across the country. The party won in Bauchi, Kogi, Lagos, Plateau, Imo, but however lost the 2 seats at stake in Cross River. The contest for Bakura House of Assembly seat in Zamfara was declared inconclusive following cancellation of 14 polling units results due to violence, overvoting, and ballot box snatching. Coming up in a moment, Governor Ikpeazu suspends Chief of Staff after spraying cash on Pastor Udumeje. Stay with us, please.
At split seconds, there is a lot happening around us, but we can't be everywhere all the time. We've got work, families, and chores to cater to, and most importantly, time to rest. And that's why having reliable partner like KUFM News is important. Sleeping? We don't. We work round the clock, bringing you stories as they break from Nigeria and across the world. We would stop at nothing to keep you informed, because KUFM News is all about you and stories that affect you. Politics, business, human interests, sports, entertainment, just name it. We've got you covered. KUFM News. Timely, precise, spot on.
Welcome back. Abia State Governor Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu has suspended his Chief of Staff, Anthony Abazuere, from office. This was disclosed in a statement issued on Sunday by the Secretary to the State Government, Barrister Chris Ezem. The Governor ordered the Permanent Secretary, Government House, Alozie Odemelam, to perform the duties of the Office of Chief of Staff until further notice. The suspension was announced a few hours after a video surfaced online showing Abazuere spraying money in his office on Prophet Chukwemeka Ohanemere, popularly known as Odumeje. Apart from the video trending online, Indaboski and Abia were among the Nigerian trends on Twitter. The video showed Abazuere spraying naira notes on a dancing Odumeje in a place believed to be his office in Government House, Umuahia. Elsewhere, 2 suspected kidnappers have been killed in Sanyina area of Tambuwal local government area of Sokoto State during a gun battle with the police. The State Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Sani, disclosed this on Saturday during a press conference at the command's headquarters. He explained that there has been an upsurge in kidnap for ransom and armed robbery in the state, with one of the recent robbery cases leading to the death of 1 person. According to him, one of the suspects in the robbery that claimed the life of a victim 2 weeks ago in Tamaji area of the state has been arrested. 4 robbery suspects and 8 other persons suspected to be kidnappers were also arrested, and 3 AK-47s and a rifle with live ammunition were recovered. Coming up in the moment on our business news, CBN appeals to Nigerians to moderate foreign goods consumption to stabilize the economy. Stay tuned as we bring you this and more with Gottlieb Orlando on our business news bulletin.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 600 billion, and the last kobo. Oh yes, we follow the money. It's all about the business and the business of business. The gains and the losses. The bulls and bears. The rise and falls. The risk and the satisfaction of seeing the last kobo rise to millions. On KUFM's Business News, the simple and complex jargons of business just make sense. Get the trending news on the money market, forecasts, investment opportunities, policy changes, and other breakout information on the ever-busy world of business. KU Business News, Monday to Friday on our news dawn, 6:30 to 7 a.m.
The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, has advised Nigerians to moderate their consumption of foreign goods to stabilize the nation's economy. Godwin Emefiele gave the advice during a one-day interactive engagement session with stakeholders on the 5-year policy thrust of the CBN in Kaduna State. Emefiele, in an interview with journalists shortly after the interactive session, said the most lasting and sustainable measure to grow the nation's economy fast is by producing what are consumed in the country. He recalled that in the 70s, the country invested in agriculture, production of some basic items to cater for its needs, and export of locally produced goods to strengthen its currency and the economy. Represented by Assistant Director, Corporate Communications of the CBN, Sam Okobue, the Apex Bank governor advised Nigerians to return to production of what they consume, while noting that the nation's economy has been affected by COVID-19 pandemic. The #EndSARS saga, Emefiele said there is need to accelerate growth of double digits by reducing inflation. Elsewhere, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, has put its overall 2020 performance from January to October at 4.122 trillion naira. It said this in spite of COVID-19 challenges, Financial Act 2019 incentives and palliatives concessions. FIRS added that its non-oil revenue collection performance in the same period stood at 2.8 trillion and oil revenue collection performance stood at 1.3 trillion. Its executive chairman, Mohammed Nami, spoke in Ilorin, Kwara State capital at the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, FIRS 2020 joint interactive session. Nami also said the service collected 251 billion naira as at October this year for the TED Fund. Represented by the agency's director, State Coordinator of Oyo, Ogun and Osun, Nureni Fashola, the FIRS chief said the agency raked in 214 billion naira for the fund in 2019. And finally, on business, about 26,458 workers who lost their jobs since the COVID-19 pandemic started, taking its toll on the economy, withdrew 14.79 billion naira from their retirement savings account in 10 months. Records from the National Pension Commission have revealed that more job losers have continued to approach their pension funds administrators to access part of the funds in their retirement savings account. Many businesses have been challenged and workers lost their job due to the hardships caused by the pandemic. Figures obtained from the quarterly accounts of PENCOM showed a growing figure of job losers in the third quarter of 2020. According to the Pension Reform Act 2014, a worker who loses his job can withdraw 25% of his RSA after waiting for 4 months and does not get another paid job, PENCOM in its first quarter report said during the quarter under review, the Commission granted approval for the payment of 4.31 billion naira to 8,221 RSA holders who were under the age of 50 years and were disengaged from work but unable to secure another job within 4 months of disengagement. According to the second quarter report, approval was granted for payment of 2.56 billion naira to 4,668 RSA holders who were under the age of 50 years and were disengaged from work but unable to secure another job within 4 months of disengagement during the second quarter. And that's it on business. And now in sports, Enyimba International through to CAF Champions League first round. Charles Operum has more on our sports desk this morning.
Zoomed into the first round of the CAF Champions League after they were held to 1-0 draw at home by Burkinabe club Rahimo in Aba on Sunday. The People's Elephants qualified 2-1 on aggregate. Enyimba won the first leg 1-0 at the August 4th Stadium of Ouagadougou last Sunday. Austin Oladakbo gave the home team the lead on the hour mark, while Papeware equalized for Rahimo 15 minutes from time. Enyimba's Imo Ubod was sent off late in the game for a second booking. On the CAF Confederations Cup, Rivers United are also through to the next round after a 2-0 penalty shootout win against Futuro Kings of Equatorial Guinea at the Adokie Amisimaka Stadium, Port Harcourt. Rivers United won the game 2-1 for aggregates to be tied at 3-3 after the away side also won the first leg 2-1 at home. Gordon Aguda and Kehinde Adedikwe scored for Rivers United in the first half, while Asu Pedro pulled a goal back for Futuro Kings in the 52nd minute. And finally in sports this morning, the Flying Eagles were held to a 1-0 draw by Cote d'Ivoire in their opening game at the Under-20 AFCON WAFU B qualifiers in Benin on Sunday. Chris Mweze put the Flying Eagles ahead a minute after the hour mark. Mweze nodded home from Wisdom Ubani's free kick. Ladamboso's side were reduced to 10 men 9 minutes later when Mweze was sent off for a second bookable offence. The Ivorians piled pressure on the Eagles and equalized on the dot of 90 minutes. Peter Olawale, Mweze and Ubani wasted clear-cut opportunities for the Flying Eagles in the game. They will face constant rivals, the Black Satellites of Ghana, in their final Group B game on Wednesday. The competition began on Saturday with host Benin going down 1-0 to Niger, while Togo and Burkina Faso played out a 1-0 draw. And that's it on sports. And with this sports story, we come to the end of our package this morning. But before we leave, a quick recap of the headlines. In this bulletin, we told you that the federal government is seeking the support of the police and the judiciary to end gender-based violence. The Lagos police has threatened a showdown as youths have planned a fresh EndSARS protest. And Abia State Governor has suspended the Chief of Staff, Abazuere. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget, you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at www.kufm.net, or you can download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We're also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria, and you can also listen to us on RadioGarden.com. KUFM News Dawn was produced by Ilebedoma Sakwaram